So Jenna Marbles quit YouTube because of cancel culture, and Shane Dawson had to make a 20-minute video about it, which I didn't even get to watching yet because it was posted like a minute ago. But I will say, as a girl that's been using the internet around since 2007, I think, I've actively watched internet culture change my whole life. And for this video, I'm going to use 2010 as an example in comparison to 2020, because people who are viciously attacking other people are digging up stuff from the 2010 to 2011 timeline of the internet. I've noticed there's a lot of flawed logic about racism in 2020 internet culture. So let's talk about Sky Jackson real quick, the girl who's been doxing people over race jokes. She's been doxing people that say guacamole nigga penis. So she would be posting the person's high school. She would be posting the principal's email and number along with it because she wants people to spam the principal, let them know, just essentially ruin this kid's or person's life. Release phone numbers, their personal or private information, stuff like that. Then she would go on to tweet that she had no intention of ruining their lives, even though her doxing intent says otherwise. What do you mean you don't want to ruin someone's life if you're posting a way to contact the person's principal and other relatives and whatnot, whatever she fucking posted? And really quickly, before I jump further into this topic, I'll be damned if people get on their keyboards and start screeching, "Didn't you dox someone, Ash?" First of all, I'll be damned if a false allegation against me a year ago would silence me from speaking out against doxing and morals I disagree with. To wrap shit up, there was a liar that lied about me, that lied about their age, experience with me, occupation, having a phone number, getting assaulted, etc. And they lied so much and sent people to attack me on their social medias. So I posted that I thought they were a fake person, and it's pretty fitting that a fake person who sends me all this fake information sends me a fake number as well. I released the fake number because they were releasing stuff about me, and I personally believe in the fair is fair motto. I also thought the fake number was humorous, so my intent was to be humorous because I thought it was funny. And if they're going to post about me and viciously attack me, I think I have every right to be able to laugh about it and make a joke about them being fake. And also, my intent was obviously not to dox, it was to make a joke that they were being fake. It's a fake text-free number. You can't even text it. It wouldn't even go through. And when I posted it, I also said, "Don't worry, guys, this is a fake number." If people didn't understand the joke was that a fake person sent me a fake number. I knew from the beginning no one could text it and it wasn't malicious, yet people don't like to give context and paint me out to have some sort of malicious intent. Unlike that teenager, I was a teenager that always had good intent and a good heart. I'm not out to be malicious or lie about people or slander them or any of that, unlike some people. Now, you don't have to agree that it's humorous. I don't find it funny anymore, actually, but to say it's doxing and slandering me over is simply incorrect. Doxing is releasing someone's private information with malicious intent. A text-free number isn't private. I don't know that person's name, area, where they live. I literally don't know them. I have never doxed someone, and I never will. I refuse to have fabrications about me silence me from talking about the topic of doxing, and if they're allowed to attack me, I had every right back then to at least make a joke about how fake they are. Anyways, I just want to talk about Sky literally posting people's high schools and stuff like that. That's just so fucking bothersome over a joke. Sky Jackson has been doxing people over jokes. I've noticed that people in 2020 internet culture don't understand the difference between a joke and racism. Or they do understand because, well, to be quite frank with you, it's obvious, but they have fun attacking people and pretending they are racist over jokes. I shouldn't have to explain the difference like you guys are babies or something. It's blatantly obvious what the difference is. But in 2020 internet culture, there's this logic that making a race joke makes you a racist, making a rape joke makes you a rapist, making a sexist joke makes you a sexist, which is all completely and obviously flawed. I understand being uncomfortable over distasteful jokes. I was the same way a year ago, but I learned that having dark or edgy humor doesn't make you a bad person. A year ago when I was uncomfortable with that kind of humor, I had a friend that helped me out in a really bad time that had this humor, and I don't mean a little bit edgy. This guy used 4chan and had the most despicable humor, but he was a good person, and I remember realizing that having dark humor, while it did make me uncomfortable at the time, it didn't make him a bad person, or doesn't make anyone a bad person. And over time, I adjusted and actually started getting a more edgy sense of humor, which I'm totally fine with, even though it's completely, not okay in 2020 internet culture. 2020 internet culture is a time where agreeing to disagree isn't okay. A time where being civil, being opinionated, or trying to change someone's perspective is outdated. Don't get me wrong, if you think race jokes could tie someone to racism, as stupid as I personally think that is, you should and you have every right to explain your thoughts and be vocal about it. But instead, 2020 internet culture is about viciously attacking and not exchanging opinions. It's about slandering people and just saying your opinion as if it's fact. And of course, doxing people over jokes and trying to look morally right for your Twitter, even though they don't care about anything they preach about. Here's Exhibit A. Pause to read. This is one out of thousands of people that do this on Twitter, where they preach shit that they don't care about and don't listen to their own advice. This is a prime example of a Twitter social justice warrior that wants to look good on their page. Anyways, to wrap it up a little, when I was a 10-year-old girl on 2010 internet, it was a simple time, and there was 3 types of communities that existed. There was people who made assault jokes. It's the R word. I know I already said it, but I don't want to say it again because YouTube doesn't like it, but R word jokes. It's about assault. I'm sure you know what that is. And it was everywhere. Memes about it, people would just joke about it, role play it, and it wasn't in a creepy way. If you were to role play that now, that's some weird, morally incorrect fetish shit. That's weird. But back then, it was seen as just something lighthearted, which I know that probably makes no sense to people that didn't live in that time when they saw that, but it really was lighthearted. And obviously now that would not be lighthearted at all by any means. The internet and culture in general has changed, and it just means a completely different thing now. It's not like a wholesome little role play with XD at the end of it. It's more serious now in 2020. It was a simple time, and there's 3 types of communities that existed, and there weren't thousands of communities like there is today. So the first type being the people that would always make these offensive jokes, which again wasn't offensive back then. It was just considered a little shocking, but no one was really offended. The second group was the weebs. Weebs were everywhere and role-playing. And finally, the third, you had children that posted memes and used XD. I was number 2 and number 3. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't change this for the world. I'm glad that I got to live in the troll face, me gusta, lol era. Oh my god. And let me tell you, back then everything was considered offensive as fuck, and no one saw it as offensive back then. Obviously, it's been 10 years and this has changed, but people like to attack YouTubers who've been around since 2010 internet and adapted to the new culture, which is really sad. Some people argue that they were adults in 2010, so they should be held accountable. It was not only a different time where it was socially acceptable and one of the only ways to make it big on YouTube if you weren't Lady Gaga or Beyonce, but it was just how the internet was, and if they didn't do that content, they wouldn't have made a following and you wouldn't know them today. And obviously these YouTubers have changed for the better to adapt to the new culture and do better. Think of it this way. Anyone can twist anything and make you the villain when you're not. Are you one of those people that think the N-word in a non-racist context still shouldn't be used under any circumstances, which includes not using it in an educational context, even if it's your job, or using it as a joke? So what if I told you 10 years from now, people will start to cancel you for your N-word opinion you had in 2020? And they say something under the lines that you used to give the N-word power, and therefore you're a terrible, awful human being. This is completely unforgivable. You're just a terrible, disgusting human being for giving that word such power. Makes no sense, right? Especially if hypothetically it was 10 years ago. It seems kind of dumb, right? Maybe you're thinking it's a dumb example, but this is not a far stretch of an example. It's not as dumb as canceling people over jokes, even if you didn't like the jokes. And if you think the new internet culture hasn't gone too far, here's something on my mind that's been deeply bothering me. So as you may or may not know, I am beginner Mandarin and intermediate Korean. I want to learn Mandarin after I learn Korean. I studied Mandarin just a little bit. And while I have heard the word niga and naga be used in Mandarin, I'm still unsure what it means in Mandarin because, again, I'm beginner. But I think that word in Mandarin means that. However, as a beginner, I could be wrong. But in Korean, niga means the word you. So obviously in conversations and songs it's often used. And get this, the song Fake Love by BTS was censored on American radios over them speaking their native language and using the word you in Korean. BTS also had to find a replacement word for the word you in Korean. They were too scared to sing their lyrics and speak their native language and perform their music without being in fear that they'd viciously be attacked, scrutinized, painted as a villain by the media. You get what I mean. And there's a handful of Asian people who come to America that are too scared and uncomfortable to speak their native language. This is a problem. The word you in Korean is very common to use. I refuse to give the N-word, the American version of the N-word, power. I refuse to attack people over jokes. I refuse to participate in harassment, which is also known as cancel culture. I refuse to viciously attack Asian people because they want to use their native language. I refuse to contribute to a society that makes Asian immigrants feel uncomfortable. I refuse to participate in any of this. It has gone too far when Asian people cannot speak their native language. This is just completely absurd to me, but in 2020 internet culture, this is praised. They want this censored. They don't like it. And if you're a person that has edgy humor and a good heart, bless you. I'm sorry you've been attacked or doxxed over it. People in 2020 internet culture always preach to be yourself as long as you're not hateful or doing anything illegal, but they will attack you over jokes, or even speaking your native language. It's truly sad, and if you continue to be unapologetically yourself during this time, then bless your heart, honestly. Anyways, this video is about to end. Quick update, I won't be uploading until I have vlogs in Korea to post and content relating to being a foreigner in Korea. That's the direction my channel is going to take in a few months, and if you want to chat with me, my Discord server is available through Patreon. We voice chat every week there for those who want to. My goal is to expand my sub count in my audience, and relating to this topic, this will help me combat slander. The only way to combat slander is to grow an audience, so if you do get slandered, it's at the very least questioned or dismissed. But because I'm a small creator, malicious people have fabricated screenshots of me to use for their videos, and even go as far as to make accounts posing as me, raid my Discord server with the accounts posed as me, and then fabricate screenshots using the accounts. And no one cares. And it's automatically believed because of how small I am. I'm going to come back with content like this and mix it up with some stuff I'm passionate about, so I have a chance for YouTube to promote me with content that they want YouTubers to post, and I can still upload things I'm passionate about, like my experience in Korea and learning about different cultures. Learning about different cultures and traveling has always been my passion, so I'll see you guys in a few months. Peace. And yes, this is my last gameplay commentary. At least that's what I'm thinking. Hopefully I don't come back with more gameplay shit. When I come back, I do just want to upload like vlogs and my experience in other cultures. Okay, peace.